What's up? I'm Lamark.
And I'm Chelsea.
And we're the hosts of Lamark After Dark. We got a live show June 20th at Club Lambda. That's Club Lambda in Brooklyn. Make sure you guys buy your tickets right now. Preferably VIP, don't hit you, bitch. And, yes, the VIP comes with 2 drinks. You get a VIP little section to vibe out. You get a comfortable seating. You won't be in the garden. It's going to be fucking lit. We got DJ Self DJing the world famous DJ Self.
You know what it is. It's the Guinevere DJ Self, live in New York City.
Just to make this.
We got dope performances.
From the block.
In the spot with all the scammers and the shooters.
Where they at?
Start a storm with my money making crew.
Where they at?
With my niggas with the rubber band stacked.
Where they at?
E-Melly.
System misdemeanors never scared us. Niggas busy getting bands off of Szn4. Got a white bitch facing lines like stanzas. Cause I pop locked all alive like dancers.
And Kendrick.
Breaked up, I'm dripped out, I'm only moving forward, so it's click now, play my shit loud. Go in, take a tote, breathe, bless me when I sneeze.
So make sure you guys tune in and check out the tickets right now on Eventbrite. It's gonna be fire. You get a chapter of my book, which exposes my secret.
Doing a DJ set. So
With
come
dancing, it's gonna be fucking fire. June 20th, Club Lambda. Buy your tickets right now.
You are now tuned in to Lamark After Dark.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the episode of Lamark After motherfucking Dark. We're kind of keeping the motherfucking dark, even though, my mom listens.
We love the motherfucking dark.
Yeah, but it's just so much, sometimes it's just vulgar.
I don't think it's ever vulgar.
It's not vulgar. I think
that's
it's just
the appropriate word for this episode.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna say what the fuck is up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, Mom. This is not the one for you.
Hi, Mom. You say the word.
Yeah.
We'll be okay.
What's going on?
Yeah. The voice. Welcome back to Lamark After motherfucking Dark. Mr. King Noire, welcome.
Please, it's good to be back.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for
again.
joining us.
A man of
Absolutely.
his Capricorn word, okay? He told us. He said, when I step back in the city, I'm going to hit y'all up and I'm going to come back. And then he did that.
Yeah.
Of course.
I fuck with that.
So
I
since
fucks with
last
y'all.
time, how have you been? Like, what's going on?
Right.
What's new?
So much has happened. Well, first of all, you had the event in April where you guys, remind me again, you guys do like a whole like resort thing where you go out of the country and like throw
Yes.
this really lavish weekend.
It's funny, we were actually talking about the next one.
Ooh, okay.
The last one, I'm not even going to talk about because some things happen that can't be shared outside of that event. But we usually do Costa Rica, but now we're talking about the next one being in Peru
Oh.
because we want to add going to some of the ruins in Tenochtitlan. It's like one of the things that we do with our events that are outside of the country is to make sure that we connect with the land and the indigenous culture wherever we go. So it's not only sexual, it's also spiritual, educational, and there's also this, it's like I don't want to say it's like a sex history museum, but there is a museum that they have there that has so many artifacts that are related to just basically like sexual history. So that's the next spot we gonna go.
That's dope.
So-
Okay. Well, last
And
one
we
was a
literally were
bang.
just talking about that today. So this is the first time I've mentioned that that's the next one. So probably in the next couple weeks, people could start signing up.
Nice. Okay. And what else is going on in between that?
I've been whoring the fuck out. You know how I do.
We know. We've been paying attention.
I have released a whole lot of new scenes. I was actually nominated for a bunch of awards this year.
Congratulations.
What are some of the nomination categories?
Well, I won Pansexual Performer of the Year from, oh shit, why my brain just went blank. I'm terrible. I'm too high.
That's real. That's
trying to
real.
be like
That's
him.
real.
From Urban X. I went for Urban
Okay.
X, but I was nominated for X-Biz, for a scene I did, for like Best Full-Length Feature Film. I was nominated at AVNs for like Niche Fetish Performer. And then for the T's, which is the Trans Erotica Awards, we were up for something like 9 awards for like a DVD we released because people still be putting porn on DVDs and shit.
Wow, I didn't even know that was
Short
still a thing.
release, long release.
What's a short
all
and
that.
long? Like, what's like?
So I think like for the short, it has to be under 20 minutes.
Okay.
And then long is like 20 minutes and up or something.
Every time you come here, I learn something new.
Right.
Like every time.
This is the whole industry, like the professional side of the industry.
It's dope. Respect.
But it's good to be nominated because, you know, Royal Fetish Films, we started it with the intention, you know, we spoke about this last time with showing that black folk, we can engage in all the fetishes, but we are not your fucking fetish.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? So to see like our names mentioned up there with studios that have been in this game for a long time and all of that, it's like we doing the right thing, you know, and it's being recognized. So that's been really great.
That's
dope.
amazing.
Your message is powerful.
It is.
And it's like you're the only guest that I've ever had that like attract men and women like both. Like they were very happy. Like you were like that was the first time I've seen like because usually it's like, you know, we get more male or like we get more women. Like, and this was I think you were the first guest that like had a mixture of both, which I think is dope.
That's why I got that pansexual award.
Yeah, so
absolutely. And then what's so funny is when you followed me on Instagram and we followed each other back, and I saw some of the mutual followings, and I was like, some of these were like men who like I would never know that was their interest, and they were following you. So I was like, oh, he's just pulling them all. Like,
well, I think some folk follow me for the education.
Yeah.
Some people follow me for the music. Most people follow me for the porn.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like,
I mean, but you know,
I like it though because
it's
I engage in all kinds of different conversations with my fans and people that fuck with us. Learn something different from the other shit, so it's always cool like that.
Like they may come for your dick, but then learn something after. You know what I'm saying? Like that, I feel like that's a
Come
good
for
mind
the dick,
fuck.
stay for the dick. You know what I'm saying?
Pun intended.
Yeah. Okay.
We love it.
Moving on. So this episode is kind of more focused on love languages and
Okay.
the different types. And the question of the night is, what is your love language? And before I re-answer that, I have like the different types, which is words of affirmation, physical touch, acts of service, gifts, and quality time. So who wants to start?
I'll start. I'm bilingual in a motherfucker with the things you just mentioned. I do all of that, and I'm into all of that. Both.
Do you have like a
giving and
top one that
receiving.
you expect in a relationship, or just one?
That I expect from other people or that I expect from myself?
Both.
Oh, man. It depends on the type of relationship. So it's like if it's a dom sub relationship, then I'm expecting my subs to have acts of service through the relationship.
Right.
But that's a good one. Nah, I think all of them fall into the moment of whatever one is required.
Okay.
I agree. I was gonna say that because I was reading through the actual description. I'm like, damn, like all of this is important. But I would have to say, for me, as far as like my love language that I give would be acts of service for sure. But I think for me, probably quality time, and acts of service, because I feel like that really shows that somebody genuinely like gives a fuck.
Yeah.
So
Yo, time
yeah,
is probably the most valuable of all of them.
quality time.
Yeah, the most valuable. I won't say that any one more than the other when expressing, but you giving somebody your time.
Yeah. I don't know. I like words of affirmation. I like to feel validated in that sense. It's like push me through that, you know, in more ways than one. But yeah, I'm an empath, so I feel like that's my go-to when someone's going through something. Like I'm very like, it's gonna be like I'm very coddly and also acts of service. Like I'm very like that kind of vibe. So I feel like, I don't know, words of affirmation is kind of my like top thing. But I think it's different like with friends and men, or like who I'm dating or whatever. I feel like
Oh yeah, that's different.
yeah, so I think with friends, I wouldn't put that at the top for me. Like I feel like with friends, I kind of just expect loyalty. Honestly, just a good vibes. But I feel like with who I'm dating and my man, I feel like I want kind of words of affirmation. Like I need that cheering up because I feel like I look for you for that in a way.
Yeah.
So
For me, I think if it's a romantic partner, definitely quality time. But acts of service would be in general. Like anybody I care about, acts of service is probably how I'm gonna show that love. For sure.
But do you want to add to that?
Well, I feel that. I think touch is something too, because depending on the relationship, how I touch you is going to be different. And I'm just even speaking romantically. So like if we're more of a polyamory kind of relationship as opposed to a dom sub relationship, you know, my subs might have to earn certain touches from me.
Now, please explain both to people that don't know.
Yeah, please.
So for me, like if I'm just having a relationship with somebody and it's not a DS type of situation, then it really isn't like a power exchange or anything like that. It's just what people would consider more like a regular everyday type of relationship, regardless of how kinky we get,
Right.
how we interact. So that touch is funny. Like earlier I was saying, like, I'm not really a cuddler, you know, but like if I know that my partner is into that, then we gonna cuddle from time to time.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But a submissive, we have a different kind of
You have to earn it.
dynamic. Yeah, it's
Got
like you're gonna have to earn that touch, and what touch you might want might also be different too, because some submissives want that scolding touch just as much as they want, you know, something that's more, you know, sensual or something like that too.
Oh, it's very interesting.
Okay. I also have a question for you because you brought up that, the poly situations. I'm trying to understand, what is the difference in the tiers of poly? Like, you have people who are poly solo, which means they date multiple people but only solo, and then you have poly partnered, and then you know the other one?
Well,
Can you break it down for me?
for some people, when they would say poly solo, it means that they're just not in a partnered relationship at the time and they're dating, but they are open to a polyamorous relationship when they get more serious with people.
Okay.
Poly partner would be somebody like me. Like I have my wife, you know, but I'm polyamorous, so I will or am open to dating for the purpose of actually finding someone who I love. Like, I think that's the one thing when it comes to poly that people forget a lot is the amory part. Everybody just be like poly, 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 but if you're polyamorous, it's because you're also open to love, not just like I'm a swinger and I'm just out here trying to fuck and shit, you know? So I think some people, they do hierarchies within their relationship. Like they might be like, this is my anchor partner. Like maybe the person that they've been with the longest, or the person that they have the most serious relationship with. So maybe they're married, engaged, or something like that, or they just feel that they have kids with somebody, or like this is my foundation. And then you might have other people that are part of your poly queue, or like part of the people that you date or are lovers with, that are outside of that anchor situation.
Okay.
So like that might be something that people look at a hierarchy. Personally, I think you and I have been together for, like, me and my wife, we've been together 13 years.
Shout out to that.
If I meet someone tomorrow, it'd be crazy to try to compare a just met situation to something that has been building for 13 years. So putting yourself on a hierarchy could sometimes, in my opinion, it fucks with people, because they're like, oh, you're comparing yourself to someone else's relationship, which is always going to be unhealthy. You know, focus on your relationship and how y'all all fit together to build up, because you don't have any memories and experiences and shit. If you got kids, whatever, like you can't really compare just meeting somebody. So it's good to try and look at it from the spot that you're in and how you're going to grow with somebody.
Okay. But to double up on that, being as though you are in the, you know, the sex industry, you're married, but then you're also polyamorous. So when it comes to finding partners that are going to be a part of that lifestyle with you, how do you even decide, or, you know, find someone who really meets the mark for you, since you do, you know, have so many different experiences and relationships?
Yeah. For me, it's important to let people know everything that everything that you're deciding to date if you're dating me. And I don't feel that, I mean, it's easier for me to date someone who's a sex worker or sex work adjacent because they understand the work in a different way. Like a lot of people have a certain perception of what we do, or don't understand some of the stressors, or, you know, like any job.
Yeah.
Like think of the shit that stresses you out for your fucking job. So then we got that. But it's like, if you can't get past but you fucking somebody else,
Right.
you ain't never gonna get to the point where I'm like, nah, it ain't really that. It's just this particular person is an asshole on set.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that bothers me way more
Yeah.
than all this other shit, but you can't get past that. So it's like, that's a major factor for me. Another factor, was probably the biggest factor, is I'm a parent first. Like even before there's any relationship with all this romantic stuff, like you have to respect that I'm a father, and my kids are always gonna come first. So it's like with dating somebody that's not in the industry,
Right.
they should be making sure that they handling their responsibilities as a parent first and foremost. So getting getting to the point where an adult performer and all this other stuff is like, it's important, but it's not that first hurdle that people have to get through, but they can't sometimes unfocus on that if they don't understand where the work, you know?
I mean, it's always gonna be something in
Right.
relationships, you know,
Got
just
you.
different strokes with different folks.
Just someone
Yeah.
who can understand the layers of you and your priorities in your
Right.
life.
Or even be interested to understand. Because some, like I said, like it's like you work a lot for being in podcasting and radio. You're gonna be out at certain times of the day or certain times at night. If they can't get past that part,
Yeah,
it's like what? It's not even worth it, because you have to understand what my life is, respect what my life is, and then we can see how we work together.
Right.
Absolutely. Okay, well, thank you for breaking that down. I always wonder, because I'm like, I couldn't handle it. I just couldn't. I be having a roster and I can't handle that. Like, how you do that? I can't. Oh, I scheduled you on the same day. I'm sorry. I'm gonna cancel everybody.
Chelsea, okay. So moving on to your sex appeal, because that is
Per.
What is your gym regimen? Let's start there.
Whenever I can get there is
So like, how often do you work out?
I love to exercise. So
Okay.
whether it's the gym or hiking or boxing or riding a bike, like that's
Is it therapeutic for you as well?
hell yeah.
Okay.
Hell yeah. So like, you know, I feel free when I'm out riding my bike, just exploring the world, or when I'm climbing the mountain type shit. Like
Right.
I love to do shit like that. So I do feel that incorporating whatever the fitness is that people enjoy, like incorporate that shit into your life and make it so much easier than like, fuck, I hate
But also,
I
sex is
hate
a
this
workout,
one
too.
thing. Sex is a workout. It
And,
is
like-
when you're doing it right.
All right. All right.
But I also I try to eat as clean as possible.
Right. What's your diet based on?
Protein,
Okay.
vegetables.
Do you train? Are you a trainer as well? Or that's
I used to do that.
Okay.
I will sometimes,
okay.
but it really depends. But because just my schedule isn't the same as it used to be. So Jasmine and I we used to own a gym
Oh,
in
nice.
Florida. So we used to do meal plans, meal prep, all kinds of different training. So
How is Jasmine?
she's
Nice.
good. She is in Buenos Aires right now.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah. She is all over South America right now. We about to meet up in Spain in a week.
Oh,
Nice.
I love that.
So okay, you got a question?
No, I was just gonna say I love that. Like, you know, it's like, okay, we're away for a week doing what we got to do, handling business. But then that, you know, you get that time together, but then you go focus back. I kind of need something like that, where like your partner has a real passion and focus on some shit. But like when you're together, you're together. But then you understand my grind. That's beautiful.
And we also
hard
do a
to-
lot of wild shit together, so that helps.
that part too.
Any examples? You want to share?
What's up? Oh man, I'm trying to remember what we spoke about last time, but what always pops out for me is for Jasmine's birthday. What was it like? It was a few years ago. She had said that she wanted to fuck on top of people, like she has a fetish for human furniture. So
I remember
found
that.
her two very strong men
Mm-hmm.
to kind of like so that we could fuck on top of them. And then they was like holding her up and swinging her into my dig and all kinds of fun shit like that.
You can find that video.
And now
on
they're
your
married.
thing, right?
You can actually. So the scene was for her birthday.
Okay.
It's called Fuck Furniture. It's starring me, Jet Setting Jasmine, Dylan Diaz, and Jake Waters, who are now married.
Nice.
Because
know.
of that scene?
I mean, that's what me and Jasmine tell ourselves. We be like, yo, we such a. They was already dating, but we like to think.
That solidified it for them.
And
Yeah.
like their aftercare for that scene, Jasmine made them this beautiful bath, and we put them in the tub for them to talk and go through their aftercare and all that. It was Jake's first time doing like some real hardcore BDSM. Like we flogged them, we was telling them all kinds of shit to do. Then they put on a show for us. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah, we was doing all of that. That scene is it's like one of our highest selling scenes. That shit went crazy on the internet.
How was the aftercare after that? Like, what's the process?
So for me and Jasmine we talk to them, make sure that they're good, see if there's anything they need, especially in that kind of scene, make sure they got some got some sugar or some food to get the body going. Put together a hot bath with some rose petals, some good smelling situations and all that. Put them in a tub. Had them talk for a little while on camera and then just left them to themselves to be able to kind of come down. And then so for me and Jasmine, usually after it's smoke something and eat something. Maybe fuck again.
Yeah.
Okay, like the
times.
rest of us. Okay. We're just like so
your sex
relatable.
drive is pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to be. I mean, I saw.
But that could just be for work. So like taking work
Right.
out of it, like your sex drive outside of work might not be as high because working and
I mean, one of the reasons why I do what I do is because of my sex drive. I feel like it was finding a way to be able to have the sex that I wanted to have in the consistency that I would like to have it in safe ways.
Yeah. Speaking of safe, STD testing, and that's important. I see that you always get tested, and that's really dope. What made you spread awareness about that and like post that? Because I see that you post that a lot as well.
I think it initially started because people talk about sex workers and people in porn like somehow we're dirty. And it's always to me like, yeah, we get tested more than you do, like exponentially more than you do. So that, but then also letting people know like there's like people hide it. It's like a stigma around it. Like, no, it's okay. Go get tested.
Right.
Even if you're not as active as me, you should still go get tested. There's a whole lot of shit that's going around that you need to make sure that you're safe and aware about. And even if you're in a committed relationship, God forbid the person that you're with is a piece of shit, but you should also make sure that you're safe as well.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, for facts.
Could not agree more.
I've been down that road. All right. So music and future projects. What's going on in King Noire's music?
Oh shit! I got a new album that's gonna be dropping in like June, July.
Okay.
Every single song that we're doing, like we just released a single called "Seduce Me," and there's a safe for work music video, and then there's a porn version of it.
Oh.
So for each song that we're doing, there's a porn version of the music video, or just some way that incorporates the music. Yeah, everything is on the side. I mean, all the music you could get on Apple Music, Spotify, wherever, all the places where they have it. But then the scenes you can see on the website. You can catch the trailers up on like Pornhub X videos. And
I think we talked about that last time, like putting the music in the porn. Like that's a really creative way to like put it all together.
It is.
That's
and I've seen a recent one. It wasn't a music video, but you guys did like this elevator thing that was really cool.
Oh,
and I was like, oh
yeah.
shit. Like it was on my regular timeline. I didn't go searching. Somebody retweeted you. And I was like, oh shit. Not the elevator.
Yeah,
that was creative. It was like
you.
some red light special elevator. Gave low key kind of like it could have been a thriller film too, which was also really cool.
Shit. I do want to do like a horror porn.
Yeah, I was getting to that. I'm glad you read my
I like
mind.
horror movies, but like that scene is Black Love in the elevator, and we just had this idea of every time the door closes, opens back up, it's a different scenario. A different group of people in different positions, and just wanted to find, because the spot that we were shooting, we shot like a whole DVD in this spot that we rented, and it had an elevator. It's like, how often do you go to a house that has a elevator in it? And it was just like on some sexy shit.
Yeah.
So it was just like, yeah, we got to fuck in it. Most people, we don't get to fuck in elevators every day.
Very true. That's on my list. Sorry, Mom.
Well, I know a house.
Where is it located?
It's in Florida, in Tampa,
okay, that's
Florida.
where I'm from.
There you go.
Okay. So we're gonna dive a little back to love languages. I did, before I wanted to move into Mark's corner, I did want to touch on the traumatic things that do come with love languages, like words of affirmation, lack of praise or constant criticism can fuck them up. And then physical touch, someone who's been abused, like physical touch may fuck them up as well. And acts of service, if you were expecting to take care of others, gifts, if you feel ignored, unappreciated, and quality time, if you're neglected or abandoned. So sometimes, love languages could be like fuck languages in a situation where like they can fuck you up. So I think that's important. Communication, I feel like, is always the key when, with somebody or just with friends. Because I feel like love languages go with your friends, family, whatever. And I want to touch on that a little bit because I feel like, I know for me, my words of affirmation comes from just my rough childhood, not getting that validation. So sometimes I feel like I need that in a spouse because I didn't get that, growing up. And it's like I don't have that push through, you're gonna figure it out. So sometimes that's where so I can relate to that. But like I took a turn.
No, that's
No, we listen to
no,
you. We're
we
here
appreciate
for
it. That's
it.
we're not gonna interrupt that.
Yeah. Like I
So-
get it.
Gotta
Like
speak
I've
the
met
piece.
people who are like, oh, I don't like. Well, I know I personally don't like people too close to me. Like if I don't know you, but you have people who like say you put your hand on someone's shoulder, or they don't like that because they might have I've experienced that personally. So
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from with a love language being a trigger,
Right.
basically.
Right. Yeah. Facts.
I'm like that with certain forms of touch. Absolutely. I don't like people just running up and touching me, for sure. So like I know like a lot of times when we're in public spaces and doing public events, it is, a lot of people come in contact with all their different love languages and things like that. I am more than open to give people hugs, but just let me know first.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like when somebody just comes up and just touches me, that shit is like an automatic turn off for me.
Do you know where that trigger stems from? Is like your childhood?
Yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Definitely comes from my childhood. I had a very harsh, I'm trying to choose my words very nicely at this moment. But my father was definitely, had some abusive tendencies to him, and one of them was just like screaming on me for everything. And when it came to any kind of, like learning to be more expressive is something that I've worked on through that trauma, because it was like, yo, you don't share this, you don't share that. That shit is fucked up, like that kind of thing. So now I've created the moment. But like we just said, but but I think it's working through all of these things is how we get better at not only understanding our partner's love languages, but then actually learning our own as well. So like for me, over the last 10 years, I've really been working to be more expressive through love. Because like it was such a problematic thing for me to even just say like, yo, I love you to people, that like my brother, bless the dead, he was the opposite. He was like, come on, give me a hug. I love you, bro. I love you. And I would, you know what I'm saying? And then when he passed, I really realized like, damn, that was something I didn't get to share with him. Yeah. Did he really know that I loved my brother? So like working on that, working through all this trauma, it helps us in the romantic, but the better lovers we are of ourselves, the better lovers we can be for others as well.
Absolutely.
That's a really good quote. That's really, I'm gonna
Absolutely.
That somewhere. That was really good.
It reminds me of, that line in My House by Beyonce where she's like, I know you could never love me, darling. You don't love yourself.
That shit is real as fuck.
Yeah, like
though.
I feel that. That's so true. That's very true. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you for being so on. This took a turn.
Yeah, we got a little vulnerable
we
here.
got for real serious. But nah, also I'm really like I told you, I try to choose my words so that people don't get offended, but I have no problem talking about anything. So actually my father literally just passed about 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
So I told you I've been doing family and I've been doing some work while I'm out here. And making amends with a parent who was not really a parent is something that a lot of us have to deal with. And when we have to deal with it, like we deal with it every day of our lives because our parents are our first teachers. And people in this world can only teach us two things, what to do and what not to do. But because these are our first teachers, we haven't even gotten to that lesson where we know, we just follow and we listen. Or we react to the things that they do that are problematic to us. So it has been this like whirlwind of things like, damn, how do I show up differently than he showed up for me? Am I a better father? Am I a better husband? Am I a better lover? Am I a better person? Because this person tried to break me down because of whatever was going on within their life. And we tend to, people will be like, damn, I'm sorry to hear that. But like if this person was a torment in my life, like, yeah, I wouldn't be here without them. But there's a certain relief to this torment being over, or trying to find a place to make amends with that torment that happened. And so many of us become toxic because we're not willing to actually, especially men, we become really fucking toxic to our children, to our lovers, to the fucking world around us because we learned to be toxic from our fathers.
Right.
You know, so whether we show up or we don't, like, how are we working through that? And then it really does actually show up in every aspect of our love lives. In every love language we gonna speak after that.
This is, I think first of all, the universe is nasty, and like so we have
divine comedy.
We have a lot of like similarities with the dad stuff, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But there's not episode for that. We filmed the episode earlier about childhood stuff, and like,
oh yeah, you could take this part and put it in the end of that one. If this one is too heavy, like, what I just said, you know what I mean?
Like, we did that one first because I feel like that would have been more. That was very like rough, and I was like, okay, this will be fun, you know, haha. But now it's like, now we're getting deep. It's like, ugh.
We hitting.
All right, so you could completely put that for some later shit.
No. I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah,
it just shows like the universe, like shit like that just happens for a reason.
People need to hear that.
Yeah, for sure.
I think it's so interesting because, especially when we talk about sex, we compartmentalize it so much that it does become detrimental in how we express it, right? Like, obviously, this is adults speaking with adults, period. You don't need, there's certain conversations that you shouldn't be having with people who are not adults, right? But when we speak amongst adults, we make sex so taboo. Like, I think they just had passed a law in, it was like Texas or something, where you can't own a certain amount of dildos.
What?
Weird.
And then there's another one in, and I believe this is Texas also, where they're trying to put it on the books that you have to provide ID to even fucking buy a vibrator or a sex toy. Like, not just ID to show that you're of age, but like so that they could file the shit. Like, you have to do more to get a sex toy than you do to get a fucking gun.
Yeah.
You know, like, that shit is detrimental. Because so then people, you know, sweep all they shit under the rug, hide who they are, hide who they love, and that shit comes out in really fucking toxic ways.
Yeah.
And then also just speaking of, like, it's a sex show. We can't talk about shit that means something to us besides sex. Like, it's important because those other things also do affect what our sex life is like.
Yeah.
The things that stress you out in your everyday life will affect your sex life.
Yeah.
Whether you're talking about the physical, the mental, or just being there and being able to do it.
Fuck off, Texas. I know everything bigger. I might be appreciated down there, but fuck.
They said it's bigger, but they got to put it away.
Right. The abortion laws. You trying to tell people they can't have fun with themselves at night. Well, what else are they supposed to do?
You go to Bella Noche's.
Where can you go? Me and my homegirls is fucking upset. Moving on. Sorry, Texas. I didn't mean fuck you for real.
Yeah, I mean, not to Houston or like
the laws.
Yeah,
the laws, not the people.
Yeah.
Fuck all the extra shit. Not actual the people. But
I've never been.
I've never been to Texas either. I was supposed to go and it never happened, but it's coming.
I fucks with Houston.
Yeah. I gotta get to the strip clubs out there and try the food.
You know, the strip clubs. I don't. It's just the male strip clubs. I feel like I don't want your penis just rubbing in my face. I don't want that. I don't know. I'm more of a private person kind of vibe. Like, I just don't want that. And then the women's strip club, I feel like, girl, like, what are we doing? And then I feel like every time I go to a women's strip club, I find a friend and we're bonding about trauma. And it's every time. And I'm like, this is not, like, your dance, like, now we're in a corner and we're talking about, like, her, she was a school teacher. I was like, girl, this is crazy. I was like, this is why I just stay my ass home, because this is not, that's insane. So, don't, I'm good.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I don't go to strip clubs.
I went to a dope event in Dallas, like a sex expo in Dallas. That was lit. There's a lot of people out there trying to do a lot of sexy shit in Texas, and I hope that they are able to, you know, still be able to do what they do. Because I know I can't even go on my own website in Texas. Like, you have to go through a certain process to get onto adult content in Texas. I fuck with Austin too. South by Southwest used to be the shit.
I didn't know that they were so restricted like that. What is this, Jim Crow?
See, okay, that's not a funny matter, but
I mean, they are. Shit, you look at some of the laws getting passed or things that are getting stripped away right now look like they trying to bring Jim Crow back. They bring up Jim Crow Jr.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. That's a deeper conversation.
Yeah, this is. We got so heavy in this shit. They're like, what else we need to talk about? They were saying over there, they was like, hey, we came here for the sexy conversation. Got this man talk about politics and family and
all
shit.
intertwined, you guys.
Yeah, it is. It's all intertwined. It's all intertwined. But the sex expo, I do want to try that. I want to go to one of those. I've never been. That I would go to. It's like the one with cars, but just like sex.
Yep.
That'd be
So
fun.
you just meet your favorite porn stars,
I
or
think-
Some of them.
Okay.
Some of them they do that. I did a live performance at it, like a live BDSM / music performance.
Oh.
I was signing shit, doing like mini sessions with people. It was fun.
What's the craziest place you signed somewhere?
Like on a person, I guess it would be like like crotch area.
Okay.
Yeah. I had a feeling you
It
signed
probably
crotch.
rubbed
Some
off.
ass
Like,
cheeks,
yeah.
some
You signed it with a pen, right?
a marker.
A marker. Okay, got you. I was like, I don't know what kind of signature she wanted.
I mean, I've definitely signed in that way too. But
I'm like,
I was thinking that this was more of an expo thing. I don't
Okay.
just be nutting on people at the expo.
Okay. I
didn't even think of that.
I don't know.
even think of that.
I'd be thinking a little deep. I don't know people's preferences.
So you've done that with the nut, like signed it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I
like to think outside the box.
Yeah.
So that's what I would want. But I don't know what anybody else might want from that sex expo.
I think this shows y'all that this show just goes in all different directions. Because at this point, if you're listening, like what are we doing? You know, what I'm
They're
saying?
like, where
it's
were we?
so many different things that
It's
go
all
on.
intertwined, you guys.
It's all connecting. We're about to get into Lamark's Corner. Any other questions you have for King Noire before we?
Nah, let's hit it. Let's
Yeah.
get to the
Okay.
juicy.
Lamark's Corner, where I answer all the questions you guys send me, advice, shade, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And we are back, Lamark's Corner. Question number 1: when should you stop using a condom in a relationship?
Let me answer that.
I mean, if you want
You
to
want, you want me to jump on that?
Yeah,
one?
well, you go ahead
Hey,
first because it varies from
When y'all have that conversation about testing and birth control, whenever y'all have that conversation, you both agree to it.
That's exactly what I was gonna say because that's literally how it be. Like, so this was going down. Are you ready for that step? Are you, XYZ? Like, are you on XYZ? Are you taking XYZ? Well, they'll ask me that since I'm the female. But do you have any of those conversations?
I just try to be very cautious on because my penis doesn't like condoms, so I just really try to be, I don't know what that's about, but I'll ask him maybe one day. We'll have that conversation, me and him, the penis.
Okay.
But I just trying to keep it, but as of now, I'm kind of saved.
What I mean?
Kind of saved.
Right. Kind of. You lost me
You only
at the
got
kind of.
halfway dunked.
Yeah. I'm just I'm riding the sidewalk, not the streets, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. You can read
Okay.
between the lines,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
Got it.
But to answer the question, communication, I think you guys both answered it
Yeah.
nail on the head.
And I think also, what is another important thing is discussing your status, discussing if people are, if you're going to be on PrEP or not on PrEP. And PrEP is for everyone. Like, heterosexuals need to start looking into that shit as well.
Yeah.
People be acting on some bullshit. But also learning what your partner's sexual activity is like outside of you as well, I think is super important. Because, you might be like, hey, we're doing this. Who else are you doing this with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
When do you have that conversation though? I guess as things get more serious. Like if you
Yeah.
decide to be no, but I think even if you're not exclusive, if you're still sexual together and you're having sex unprotected, that's still a conversation to have.
I think it's a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we're having unprotected sex.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
100%.
so.
And I agree about the PrEP as well. I think a lot of people are uneducated on that. Do you mind just telling people what that is so they know, just in case they don't?
PrEP is a medication that you can take that pretty much prevents you from contracting HIV/AIDS. They now have a shot that I think covers 3 months. I personally take a pill every day.
Is it a big pill?
No.
Okay. Because I was looking into it, but then like I have like a it was something with my. It fucks with like your stomach or something, like your intestine. It was something with the intestine that the doctor talked about. It was like something with that, but
there's a bunch of different brands now too that you might be able to look into to see which one is best for you.
And is it covered by insurance, or is this something like people could go to the clinic and get?
Depends on your insurance. I can't never speak for insurance in America. I don't.
True.
You don't never know what the fuck they cover.
Right. So
like,
speak to your healthcare
they be
provider.
like, you got shot? Maybe. Maybe we got you. Where you got shot at?
Right.
Did
We
it
might
go
be
through?
able to-
that hospital bill after is fucking disgusting. Like no one
Yeah.
talks about that enough. Yeah.
But yeah, get your prep if you need it.
Next question: do you go to your ex's funeral? I'm not going, but that's just me.
If we were cool, I don't see no reason not to go.
I'm not going, but that's just.
Depends on the ex.
Yeah. Depends on the ex. Rest in peace, though. I'm gonna stop acting out. Never.
Yeah, I'm not going. So.
Aww. But he's dead.
Well. like, next question. Do you have a favorite ex? Clearly, I don't. There's that for me. So, what about you guys?
Depends on. I do have a favorite ex, but it depends on like what category they like. Favorite ex for sex, a favorite ex for whatever. You know.
That's true. That is true. Is it categories, or are we talking about in general?
It just says do you have a favorite ex, but you can do a category if you would like.
Yeah, I don't think I have an overall favorite ex. They're all exes for a reason. They all did something wrong.
Yeah. I have favorites though. I mean, like I have ones that are like more prevalent than others. They know who they are. We still cool to this day.
You know, I think maybe it's the way that I end it with everybody. It's only one ex I'm really cool with, but we've been friends longer than we've been exes. So like that's kind of different. But everyone else can kind of go to hell. And I don't know if it's just me or if it's like what goes through, like I just feel like it goes left with me and them. And I just don't know what that is about. So
Oh man.
yeah.
All right. Well, guys, he's not coming to your funeral. We're gonna move on.
But if I don't fuck with you, why would I go to the funeral?
That's true.
It's like that's disrespectful, I feel like. You know?
See, that's to me not fucking with somebody. Period. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you, whether you my ex or not. But not all my exes do I have like a bad situation with now. You know what I mean?
Same.
Like we just might not have been compatible for one another.
Yeah.
No.
Well, you also said how you leave, so it might be your fault. They might not even want you at their funeral.
I feel like
so you ain't getting no invite.
Here we go.
You set all my fucking sneakers on fire when we broke up.
I have never done anything to these men. If I called each of them, they would probably be happy to come back on the show or come on the show. Because I feel like in all of my situations, I've helped them in many different ways. And it just gets to a point where it's just the disrespect is too much. And I feel like I've let you do too much. And it's like, me personally, as a Cancer, shout out to Summer in the building. I feel like we really are ride or die. And then you just sometimes niggas keep riding and they don't give a fuck. And it's just like, now I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? So like I gave my all and you just kind of threw it away. But speaking of that, King Noire,
yes.
You're a Capricorn.
Yes.
And we have a very love and hate relationship up here with Capricorns. I think you're a mature Capricorn, and I love that for you.
I love that
for us.
An evolved Cap.
Yeah, I think an evolved Cap is great. I think you guys, but the ones that are not, man. What is your input on that? Let's as a Capricorn.
Are you heavy into your zodiac sign at all?
Absolutely not.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, when people tell me like the qualities and shit, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm kind of that. That works.
I think
but
you
don't
fit the qualities pretty well.
When other people tell me what they are, it's usually because they ask me what I am, and I'm like, oh, what are you?
You don't even know.
When they tell me, I'm like, oh, well, that means. But I have, when I do pay attention, like I realize, like I have a lot of friends who fall in one zodiac, lovers who fall in another zodiac, or
Do you want to shout
people
some of
that's
them out?
close. Like a lot of my friends are Virgos. I have a lot of friends who are Virgos.
The earth signs.
And then people who are close to me and family that I just seem to get along really well with are Aquarius and Gemini.
Okay.
Nice.
That's fair. I like Yeah, my brother's a Gemini.
I'm leaving
I
there.
wish I knew what all my exes were now.
Yeah.
Now that I think
What's
about
your
it.
wife?
Yeah, we can figure this out.
Oh,
If you
that's
know their
Gemini.
birthdays.
Oh, okay. Big
I don't remember none of my exes' birthdays.
It's been too long now.
I'm terrible with dates. I'm terrible with dates.
That's like me with names.
That's actually my love language. If I remember your fucking birthday, you really matter to me. There you go.
Okay.
No offense to anyone I forgot, because I forgot everything.
Hey, that means he don't fuck with you. All right. Next question. Who gets more respect, your parent or your significant other?
Damn, that's tough. They get different respect. Can't have a disrespect my mother or my wife. Like,
Both.
What they get into a fight?
Well, it depends
would
on
be crazy,
right.
son.
It depends on the level of your relationship too, right? Because when you're married, that is the highest level of respect. Like that's your partner. So your parents ultimately need to also give the same respect to your partner. So I feel like if you're married, low key is your partner. But aside from that, yeah, I guess it would be your parents or whomever is in your life that you look at in that regard.
As a poly person, I don't want to put anybody in a who would I respect more. Like if they got into a fight or an argument, whoever's wrong is wrong. It don't matter what their
Fair.
you know what I'm saying?
I guess from a
relationship
poly
is.
perspective, yeah.
But if it's a car and it's the front seat, who's sitting in the front seat?
Right. And you got all of your wife, right?
Usually my wife would let my mother sit in the front.
Okay.
Okay.
That's true.
That was a safe.
But my mother's also visually impaired, so like we have to move her around in certain ways as well.
Okay.
Because in that, what movie was that where like, they be beefing with the mom? It's like, that's my wife. You need to respect my wife. It's probably something Tyler Perry related.
I feel like that's like a real cliched trope because most of the people I know, their wives and their parents get along with their wife and their moms and stuff like that.
Oh. That's a great thing to know because it's the opposite over here.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
Like, big beef.
Yeah.
I know big beef.
Yeah.
Even in my
I feel
family.
for them because I don't want
That's tough.
the love of my life and the woman who brought me into this world to be beefing
Yeah.
with one another.
Yeah.
That sucks.
But you got, sometimes you have moms that have a hard time embracing their son's new partners or vice versa. Maybe a dad who doesn't like, their daughter's selection of partner or whatever.
I still need to show each other respect. Though.
Agreed.
I
Out of
agree.
love for my daughter, I'm gonna show her partner respect.
Exactly. You got some parents who don't give a fuck.
At all.
That's
And
not
it's like,
setting
and
a
then
good
if you're on the-
example.
if
So
you're on
then
the
I guess
opposite
they would
side-
be wrong then. So
Agreed.
if
like,
that's
if
the
you're the
example
partner-
they setting,
If you're the partner, like I'm not gonna be disrespected by your parents. Like it's not gonna be.
Yeah, that's not
'cause-
happening.
Yeah. So. All right. Next question: Is masculinity being erased in young men by the LGBT community? Anthony Mackie talks about raising his boys to be real men.
nah.
I mean, I don't think so either. But that's a topic for a show.
I think that there is this false narrative that's being pushed right now that the LGBTQIA community is trying to, especially within the Black community, like taking up a space that is somehow pushing our rights as Black folk to the side and this, that, and the other. First of all, there are a whole lot of people within that community who are Black. So your sexuality as a Black person doesn't change how you're treated in America as a person of color, period. This agenda, this fake narrative that people are saying, like, there is no agenda. It's if you have been told that you are not to be out in the open for however fucking many thousands of years people have told people that they cannot be out in the open as a queer person. And then all of a sudden you're able to be out in the fucking open and you could just be yourself. That's not an agenda. That's just being outside. You know what I'm saying? And that's really what is being pushed, right? Or having a TV show that also has queer folk on it.
Representation is very important.
Yeah, it's the same. We're allowing, and forgive me if I go too far off on a tangent, but Black folk are allowing ourselves to be truly manipulated right now by right-wing propaganda that is splitting us up in many ways. So like there's right now this whole thing where it's like Black Americans against African and Caribbean immigrants, Black Americans who are Christian against the LGBT community. This is how we get our shit fucked up again, by allowing ourselves to be split up. Who somebody fuck and who you worship ain't got nothing to do with each other.
Facts.
Nobody stepping on nobody else's toes. And you got gay folk in your family, you got Christians in your family, we should be able to work this out as a family. I grew up around all kinds of folk. West Indian, African, my family African American. We ain't never had no fucking problem back in the day. We wasn't telling them they wasn't black. That shit is fucking crazy. You allow yourselves to be divided, you allow yourself to be conquered real easy. So that's that thing. To the Anthony Mackie thing, raise your sons how you want to raise them. No one else is gonna raise your sons better than you and your mother, the child.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So outside influence only really creeps in as they get older, but you as a parent should have already been there to show, like, I'm the person who you can come to talk about whatever. Real manhood, masculinity is also not based in who you fuck. It's based in how you carry yourself as a man, how you treat women. I mean, that's how I feel about it.
You said it. I did like the buttons.
I can't follow that up. I'm just going to be
yeah.
quiet because that was beautifully said.
No, that was great. That was really great. Do better, America.
Word.
Learn from this.
Wait, can you say it again for the camera?
Learn.
Okay. I was gonna say about Dr. Umar, but I don't want to get. I don't know. That's gonna go left. Yeah, it's gonna go left. But I did tell y'all about his kids seasons ago, and now what's happening?
It's a mess.
Stop! I be telling y'all. Y'all don't be listening.
It's a mess.
Okay, so we're gonna get into King Noire's business, but
Oh shit.
we talked about your love life. I feel like we kind of already. You're married. Future goals.
Take over the world. Pinky in the brain style. Nah. Future goals, I would love to really be able to produce and direct non-porn films, like feature films.
Yeah.
That is something that I'm very interested in.
Okay.
Fire.
Continue making music. And I mean, I'm never gonna stop making porn. Don't get that twisted. But I really want to show different types of love stories as well.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's dope.
I love that. Wait, hold on. I have a follow-up. You said you're never going to stop making porn. So
No.
you do not have an expert. Like, you're talking as far as you can go, as long as you could go.
As long as my body is willing, I am willing. Because I think it's cool to show like the maturity of sex as you grow, as you age. I think that's a beautiful thing.
Last time we talked about your dildo line. How's that doing?
It's good.
It's good.
We got some new colorways and all that.
Oh.
Did you do the butt?
I have not done that yet.
Okay.
I would like to do that though. I want people to be able to play with my ass out there.
Nice.
They're waiting. They're waiting. They're waiting. I've seen the comments.
Speaking of that, favorite position. We talked about that last time.
We did, but has it altered at all? Have you tried anything that has just made you been like, ooh?
Any kinks or fetishes that I've tried recently? I can't say that there's anyone that I can't remember from the last time that I was here. If there's anything that just pops out at my head.
Okay. Do you feel like, I don't know, because it's your job. So do you feel like you ever have times where you don't enjoy sex anymore? Or do you just feel like who you are as a person?
Sounds crazy.
Okay. I just want to make sure. You know, some people get sexed out.
Wild to me. Like, I mean, there's definitely things that maybe I'm like, all right, so things that I want to shoot that I might have shot a lot, I might be like, I want to try something new because I've shot this from like every angle that I've done. Like a lot of times, like people hire me so much for flogging, right? So I have mad scenes with flogging in it. So I'm like, I want to try some different tools or equipment in another scene just to switch the shit up a little bit. But I know most people are like, but I want to fuck with you for this flogging shit because I like how I feel.
Yeah.
So like that, but in my actual everyday sex life, nah, yo, like the more sex I have, the more sex I want.
Nice. Okay, good. That gives me hope.
Okay.
Ho.
Yeah.
Get that ho.
It's been dry over here, okay? I'm trying to, the spring is here. It's all bloom. This was in your bloom too, okay?
Get it.
Come on, America. Come on.
All right.
Send it my way.
Every guest this season, we've done the triple S, and we've also asked them their word for the year. So if you could do your one word for the year, what would it be?
My one word for the year. I mean, my goal for the year has been travel.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I could keep that as the word, like just keeping it moving.
Okay.
You know,
And your triple S is song, shout out, and show that you're obsessed with right now.
damn, I gotta look at my phone for the name of the song.
Or artist.
It's not even a. I can't remember the name of the song. It's this Vince Staples song that I just been like really like. Yo, this shit is.
Yeah, I
It's
fuck with Vince
crazy.
Staples.
Yeah.
He's dope.
I fucks with his show. His show was fucking hilarious.
On
That
Netflix?
shit on Netflix. That shit was funny as hell. Was it a show?
Show.
I'm waiting for Handmaid's Tale to come back because I want to know how America ends.
On April 8th,
It come back April 8th for real?
8th on Hulu. Listen,
I'm like, we're like a couple years away from that shit actually happening.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to know how long this shit lasts
Yeah.
before I come back. It's travel.
I'm prepared because I watch that shit every season. Okay.
I think it's
Is it scary?
crazy though.
It's not scary. It's just very like it has a slight thrill to it, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But it's an eye opener because it really shows you the underbelly of where a lot of the things that are already in place could really go if we allow it to.
Mm-hmm.
So
And your shout out. Oh, speaking of that, before that, Roy Woods, he had the Hulu special.
Oh,
He talked about your voice.
my.
That's who I'll shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out Roy Wood Jr.
He did an
Yeah.
imitation of you and your voice. And
That shit was funny as
Yeah.
hell. I didn't know he was gonna kind of like do my voice, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
'Cause, so he had we had interviewed. No, I gotta go back even further. He initially interviewed us about the porn industry and racism in the porn industry for The Daily Show, and then we interviewed him on our podcast, kind of talking about the similarities between like sex work and comedy and just being a touring artist and all that kind of shit. And then we had invited him to one of the event we was talking about in the beginning of the show today, like y'all full cycle and shit. So he had a joke about like that was his first time being invited to like a sex party and shit. And then it grew to what wound up being on his special. So I didn't know it was gonna be all of that. And then at the end when he like acting like he called me on the phone and shit, like that shit was hilarious.
Yeah.
We was like, oh shit.
I mean, your voice is just it's deep.
But we're forever, like he just cemented us in the. I love stand up comedy. I think stand up comedy is the hardest, like the hardest art form, because you either funny or you not.
Yeah.
Everything else, you might be like, yeah, I like King Porns because of the lighting and shit.
Right.
You could pick out little things that you like
yeah.
or don't. So I don't know. That shit was ill.
Yeah. Okay.
So shout out to that guy
Shout
right
out to
there.
him.
yeah, he's
He
dope.
funny as fuck.
I like Ray
He doing his thing right now. Like, and he good people.
But before you go, I know your fans want to see you shirtless.
It's cold in here.
I want to say sorry, guys.
So they would like to see you. But I have a friend here. Shout out to Victoria. And if you're down for it, I was gonna have her rub a little bit of lotion on your chest for clickbait. Now, if you're not,
shit.
are you cool with that? Yeah. Okay, Victoria, do you mind rubbing some lotion?
This is a real thing.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Do you mind? I have lotion.
I'm nervous over here, and I'm not even the one doing it. Come on, Big A.
No, you could say around your chair.
I'm standing up.
Oh, you gonna stand up? Okay.
Ooh, okay. I mean,
Gotta show her proper respect.
Yeah, we just need his body on it. That's fine. Yeah.
What a privilege.
I know, right?
What a privilege.
This show is fun.
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Are we still recording? We are.
This is going on the show. Now, for the listeners that's audio, I mean, just do audio.
she's
You
warming
have to
it up,
You
y'all.
have to go to like the video version to see this part.
I appreciate that.
This is nice.
I'm melting.
This is nice.
Ooh, eye contact. Come on, I can't even look at you.
Is that good?
This is great.
Yay.
Thank you, KingNoire, for being a good sport.
Thank you, sexy humans.
All right. Well, King Noire, it's been a pleasure. Chelsea, do you have any other questions for?
No, like I got to meet you twice. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Thank you for coming back and being a man of your word. I
Yes.
fuck with it.
Always, I'm always down to come back. Y'all already
Yeah.
know. I fucks with y'all.
We really
appreciate
support
that.
you and
Yeah,
fuck
we
with
really
you
fuck
too.
with it.
For real.
Thank you.
Any last questions you have for us? If you don't, it's really okay.
Any last questions for you? Since the last time I was here, what's something new that you've tried?
What, in general?
Sexually? No, we sexy time now.
Okay. Well, it's still there. I just had to do a new session on that part. But
Something I tried. Oh. Give my tea. I can't give my tea.
we can edit it.
You're not gonna edit it.
No, if you really want me to, I'll edit it out.
I finally experimented with someone who's older.
Okay.
Because I was just like, I want to try that. Like, I have a few things on my list that I'm checking off before I actually commit again in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to try someone who was older, and it was like, I didn't really see a difference. Like, I felt like even though he was much older, his maturity level was still not like where it needed to be for it to be as enjoyable.
What's older though?
Over 10 years older
Okay.
than me. So
Yeah.
older.
He needs to mature.
Yeah, like you're still immature and you are in your 40s. That's crazy.
You ruined it.
Well, that's our time.
Absolutely not. Lamark, what have you done? Thank you.
I haven't really done anything since last time that's been crazy, other than like,
It doesn't have to be crazy, just something new.
Something new.
well, I've hosted some parties that are more adults. So,
But what did you do?
That is something.
I got my check.
I want to know more about
That's
these
what I did.
parties.
I'll tell you off air.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I got my check, so I've been doing that and help with that and spreading body positivity. So
There you go.
check out my Instagram, Lamark.
He always does this. He makes everyone else answer, and then he tries to con his way out of it.
But
Like
I have
he
not
don't.
done anything crazy since the last time. Like,
I accepted the party.
yeah, he's up to the parties. I have not talked about that on this show, so that's something. Thank you for coming to Lamark After Dark. We appreciate it. Make sure you guys get some tickets to live show. We appreciate that. Yeah, anything else you want to
No, that's it for me, folks. Come to the live show. Thank you so much, King Noire, for joining us again.
Yes, go watch all my porn right now.
Yep.
And stream his music.
And stream his music.
Stream
Yes.
that music.
And hold on, plug yourself in real quick. Where can they find you?
The Real King Noire on Instagram, at King Noire on Twitter, and then of course royalfetishxxx.com and KingNoireXXX.com.
Period.
Here we go.
All right. And you heard it here.